Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary with the Get Some podcast. And my guest this week is...
This motherfucker Gary.
Hey, this podcast is brought to you by Blue Chew. Now listen, Blue Chew wants men rock hard. That's what they told me. That's the mission. They will not stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house, till every tent is pitched, till every rod is raised. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. And listen, we have got a special deal for our audience. Try Blue Chew free. My voice cracked. That's how good it is. Free. Just pay $5 for shipping at checkout when you visit BlueChew.com. That's BlueChew.com to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Get Some podcast with Gary Owen. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Owen with the Get Some podcast. I'm going to start off with my schedule. Now, obviously, this episode, we are going to get into the Kendrick Lamar. Gary stepped in it. I'm not going to say fiasco, but I stepped into a hip-hop beef, so to speak. So we'll start with my schedule. This weekend, I'm in Louisville, or as the locals... I don't understand that city, Louisville, Kentucky, because it's Louisville. I call it Louisville, even though I'm from Cincinnati. Everybody gets mad when you mispronounce it, but Louisville. AKA Jack Harlow, AKA Muhammad Ali, AKA hell, my other podcast, Nate Jackson. I think he's going there too pretty soon, or he just went there. One of them. He was just there. All right, never mind. I was trying to help another comic out. Not that he needs it, but yeah. So I'm there at the comedy club this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then next weekend I'm in Pittsburgh at the Improv, and then December 20th through the 22nd, I am in Denver, Colorado at the Improv. And then let me pull this flyer because my end of the year is a doozy. Where's it at here? Photos. So bear with me. I'm with Lavelle Crawford. We are on I call it a mini tour. It's called "Oh, You Funny for Real" tour, and I'm just gonna brush my own shoulders off. I came up with that name of the tour. But we're in Kansas City on December 26th at the Midland Theater. And then we're in New Orleans, Louisiana on December 27th at the Orpheum Theater. And then we're in Jacksonville, Florida on December 28th at the Florida Theater. And then we're in San Antonio, Texas, December 29th at the Tobin Center, a.k.a. HEB Performance Hall, same venue. And then December 30th, I'm by myself in Shreveport, Louisiana at Sam's Town Casino. And then New Year's Eve, this is what is it? This is my 8th. This is my 8th annual Dallas-Fort Worth New Year's Eve takeover. I'm going to be hosted. We got Mrs. Pat. We got JJ Williamson. We got my guy T-Robe, Nate Jackson, and Lavelle Crawford. That is a strong show. So that's where we'll be on New Year's Eve. And you know what's funny about that New Year's Eve show? So this is my 8th year. It's actually my 9th year. We took 1 year off with COVID. But how that all came about was obviously 9 years ago, I went and they just called and said, "Hey, does Gary want to headline the Texas Trust Theater?" Is that what it's? Yeah, the Texas. It's been. I swear that theater has been like 5 different names in 9 years. It was like the Verizon Theater. It was just like a theater. It was another name. Now it's the Texas Trust Theater, but it's the same building. It's freaking beautiful venue. Sound system's amazing. It's gonna be if you've never been to the New Year's Eve show there, it's so dope. We've had everybody. We've had Lavelle in the past. We've had Mike Epps, Cedric the Entertainer. Shoot, you name it. We've pretty much had it. So it's so funny because they called me 9 years ago and they was like, "Do you want to do it?" I said, "Yeah, of course." So I go. And I think we sold like 2,000 tickets the first year, which I was ecstatic about. And then they said, "Hey," immediately they was like, "You want to do it next year?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like literally as I'm getting my check, I'm with the theater and the promoters, and they was like, "You want to do it next year?" I was like, "Book it." We booked it right then. So then I went to the second year. We sold more tickets. It's probably like 3,000 tickets. And I was like, "Oh, okay, it's building." And then the third year, we sold it out. I was like, "Whoa." And it's like, I guess it holds like 6,000, 6,500, but we have to block off the top section. We can't sell like, I think it's like 1,500 seats we can't sell because on New Year's Eve, we let everybody out to celebrate New Year's in the lobby with us, and it's a fire hazard. So once we realized, oh, well, it's sold out in advance, we can't sell all the tickets because we celebrate New Year's together in the lobby, we said, let's do 2 nights. Let's do the 30th and the 31st, and we're going to start bringing in big names, and we'll that way on the 30th, we can sell all 6,500 seats or however many it holds, and then New Year's Eve, obviously, we got to take the top off, that third section balcony. So that we did that. It's been selling. This year's weird, though, because I don't know if you guys know this. New Year's falls on like a Tuesday. So we was like, we're just going to go back to one night because it would be hard to do a Monday, Tuesday, a show of this caliber. So that's why me and Lavelle are doing the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then together on New Year's. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Shouts out to everybody last week in Indianapolis. Man, we sold out the original 5 shows, so we added a 6th show. And this is how you know you're getting older. I add matinees. I used to add midnight shows. Now I'm adding matinee shows when I add shows. So I was like, all right, that lets you know my audience is growing old. We do. And it's crazy because as a comedian, you think you do a 4:30 show, you're like, they always be lit. And if it's sold out or not, it doesn't matter. Because you know what I feel like? Sorry. I feel like those people that buy the matinee shows, they're extra amped because they weren't going to go because the other shows were sold out. So they feel like, oh, snap, I get to go now and I wasn't going because I thought I wasn't able to. So I think that goes a lot into it. And you're not tired because every comic knows, man, those midnight shows sometimes when you add them, that crowd be wore out. They could be high. They could be drunk. Those midnight shows, honestly, it was either so wild and lit, you're doing like almost all crowd work and having fun with them, but they rowdy or they dead tired. It's like, it's never just like an 8 o'clock Friday or Saturday show, those midnight shows. So it's funny because every time you go to a city now, I've been doing stand-up so long, you got stories and memories about every city. And the one story in Indy, and I'm not sure if I shared it before, but I told it on stage this weekend. The last show I told it because I didn't know if it was good enough to get to the stage, that kind of story, but I got jumped. All the years I've been doing stand-up, I've been jumped. I got not jumped, but I'm like got in an altercation at a nightclub 2 times in my life as a stand-up. One was in Detroit, and the other one was in Indianapolis. And Indianapolis was so random as how it all came about because I had a show at the Old National Theater. It was a Thursday night. I get off stage, and I'll never forget, this was like 2018 or 17. Xavier had a good team that year, Xavier Musketeers in Cincinnati. And, you know, I'm a hometown guy, so I root for UC and Xavier. And I wanted to see the game, and it was like a 9 or 10 o'clock game. So I got to get off stage. I said, where can we watch the game at? And they was like, well, there's this place called Tiki Bob's, and they have a back bar area, and you can go back there and watch the game. And I was like, let's go. So we get there like 10 o'clock, let's say. Nobody's in the club. I didn't realize it's going to be jumping later. We're in the back watching the game. Now the game's over. It's like midnight. I was all right. I'll never forget. We were in St. Louis the next day. I was like, we got to go. I got like a 6, 7 a.m. flight. We leave the back area where the basketball game was on. We come walking out. The club is jumping. It's like Essence. It's like, I didn't realize it's Black Night. It's not a black club, but Thursday was Black Night at Tiki Bob's. So now we're leaving, and I'm just trying to get to the crowd. And now people are starting to notice me a little bit. So I'm literally hearing people going, oh shit, that's Gary Owen. Is that Gary Owen? It looks like Gary Owen. Is that Tommy from Power? I'm hearing all this. So I'm just trying to get through the crowd. And when I say packed, I mean, it's one of them, you can't move. You can't just walk freely. All of a sudden, I get a push on my shoulder. And I was like, and I look back, and this white girl was standing there. Keep in mind, if there was 2,000 people in this club, 1,980 was black. There was probably 20 white people in this club. Why did the one white girl push me in the shoulder? I'm going, what? What was that? I thought she recognized me. I thought she was kidding around. No. She was serious. So she pushes my shoulder. I look back, and I'm thinking, oh, I thought she pushed me hard like Gary Owen. And I looked at her and gave her like a half smile, and she looked at me like with this almost menacing look. So I went, I'm probably wrong what I did, but I was goofing off. I was like, like that. And I'm laughing while I'm doing it, right? Wheel down. I didn't see the bouncer standing next to her. So the bouncer was clearly trying to holler at her. I thought it was just a dude trying to talk to a girl. So when he saw me do this, and then she then she went off. She was like a white girl that, I'm going to show these black people I'm about that life. So she's snapping on me. And I'm just like, whoa, where's this all come from? And the guy like grabs me, he goes, you're out. He grabs me by the back of my shirt, and he's got my elbow like this. So he's dragging me out like this, right? And I'm going, he goes, man, you're out of here. I go, yeah, we're leaving anyways. So feel free to escort me out. So he's got me, and he's like really pushing through. As he's pushing me through, now everybody's starting to really notice me. So I'm taking all these selfies as I'm getting dragged out the club. So I'm getting dragged out like this. I'm still entertaining people. So when he gets me at the door, he gives me a big ass shove, right? So I kind of stumble a little bit, and then I look back. And when I look back, my opener was on the way down. He got choked out. What I didn't know is when the bouncer guy grabbed me, he kept hitting the bouncer guy on the shoulder like this. And he kept saying, hey, man, you ain't got to do that. We leaving anyways. You don't have to drag him out. We're leaving anyways. I guess another bouncer saw him hitting his shoulder and came up behind him and put him in a chokehold. Choked him out. He hit the ground. And I mean, head bounced off the concrete. And I will say, to his credit, he was still in the club. Because when he got knocked out like this. Like it was still party mode. He was still smiling and out. And the crazy part about it is I travel with, at that time I was traveling with 3 people. And my other 2 guys, we would never talk about getting in fights. We would never talk about how we were badasses. The guy that got choked out was the guy that was the only guy in my crew that would tell all these stories about how he was nice with his hands. He could fight and everything. I go, what are the chances? The one guy. Like if I ever got choked out, I'm a comedian. I make a joke of it, but I'm under no pretense that I'm a badass. I don't know. I've never been in, as an adult, a real like knockdown, drag out fist fight. Obviously, at elementary school, you got shit that pops off at recess. But as an adult, I've never been in anything that I would say was like, we just was scrapping. I've been in like little pushing scuffles. I've been in melees with other people. You're in the mix as a fight was happening, but never just squared up one-on-one. I just never did it. I'll walk away. I'm like, I always felt like it wasn't worth it. Even as a, I think most guys mature at 25. Our brains kind of figure shit out. Even before 25, I never was a guy to get in fights. I'd be like, you got it, and just walk away or make a joke about it. So, as my opener is knocked out, I see two cops outside of Tiki Bob's. And I went to him. I said, you just gonna let this happen? And the cop goes, we ain't see nothing. We just saw your boy get choked out. I was like, oh. Come to find out later, the owner or manager of Tiki Bob's was paying the cops kind of underneath the table to be, they were security outside the club, but they made sure their presence was felt, especially on Black Night, even though it was white cops. And they were just like, yeah, we ain't doing nothing. I was like, oh. It was so weird, like the coldness and the disregard that they looked at it as. Like, you got a guy out here knocked out. You saw what happened, and you ain't gonna do nothing. I said, all right. So I called 911, and the ambulance ended up coming. Another cop car came. And when I called 911, as I'm waiting for the ambulance and the cops to show up, the manager finally came out. Because even when I got kicked out, I told the dude that kicked me out, I said, hey, man, you doing too much. You ain't got to do all that, man. That was unnecessary. My guy's knocked out, and he's like going off on me. And like I said, it was so chaotic. But everybody got their phones out now, and they're recording my opener knocked out. And I was like, damn, I don't want this getting out there. So I told everybody, I said, hey, man, you guys mind not posting this or deleting these videos? I said, I'll take selfies. I'll do Snapchats, whatever you want. I must have did, I'm not over exaggerating, I bet you 15 to 20 Snapchat videos with people to make sure they deleted it. And it's all real quick. So now I'm in a weird predicament. My boy's knocked out. I don't know if he's okay. I'm trying to be funny with people because I don't want him being embarrassed, this shit getting out there. And just to be blunt, at the time, I was married to my ex, and she was always on me about if I go out. And I'm thinking, you know what? I don't want to hear her mouth. I don't want to hear, that's why you don't go out. And I wasn't going out that night. I was just going to watch a basketball game. So there was so much going on in my head. And then before the ambulance and 911 got there, my boy came to. And then as he came to, my other two guys, they're like making sure he's all right. And we're still like right outside of this club, Tiki Bob's. So the manager finally comes out. Me and him go across the street and have a civil conversation. And I said, man, we ain't like that. I said, if you want us to leave, we will leave. If we're not wanted in an establishment, I said, we don't get in fights. We don't get in arguments. I said, you ask any comedy club, anybody, any bar, anywhere we've ever been, we just there to have a good time. And I will say, when I started drinking, and I wasn't drinking that night, I'm a happy drunk. I'm not violent. I don't have split personalities. I heard Josh Brolin recently on a podcast was like, he used to get blackout drunk. And when he got drunk, you didn't know what you was getting. There's some people that be like, Josh is the best when he's drunk. He's like buying the bar. He's friendly. He goes, and there's other people that are like, you don't want to be around him when he's drunk. You don't know what you're going to get. You know what you're getting when I get drunk. And it's happy. My cheeks are red. I'm just smiling. I want everybody to have a good time. I've never been an angry drunk. So I'm talking to this dude, and I said, yo, I don't even know what happened. I go, a girl pushed my shoulder, and I told him exactly what it did. I thought we were kidding around. I did this. I go, and then your dude just kicked me out. And then he was like, well, the guy that kicked you out, I've been working with him for 15 years. He goes, I'll never forget. He goes, I trust him with my children. He could babysit my kids. He was like, and he said you hit a girl. I said, what? He said you hit probably the girl that pushed you. And I go, I've never hit a dude in my life, let alone a girl. I've never hit nobody. What are you talking about? I go, you got cameras in your club, right? He goes, yeah. I go, well, pull them. I said, they'll tell you. And he was like, well, I don't know. He said, I said, okay, well, if that is the soapbox you're standing on, explain this to me. If I hit a girl, why is the black guy choked out? He went, well, you guys want to come back in? I was like, no, I don't. So now the ambulance shows up with the other cop car. The two new cops show up, and I go to give them a statement. The cops that I tried to talk to when all this happened, now they come over. We're good. We already talked to them. We'll take a statement. I said, no. I already tried to talk to you, officers. You literally, and I quote, you didn't see nothing. You just saw my boy get choked out. I said, so I'm going to talk to these guys. And you could tell they were just standing there like this. And thank God it looked like the cops that showed up were more senior than the two cops that was there at Tiki Bob's. Because they was cool. They took my whole statement, everything. My boy gets in an ambulance. He goes to the hospital. I tell my guy, Brad, I was like, Brad, you got to go with him to the hospital. I'm going to go back to the hotel. I got to pack up. I got to be out of here in the morning. I don't know how long it's going to take. This is probably like 1 in the morning now, 1:30. So next morning, I'll never forget, my alarm went off at like 4:35 a.m. And Brad said, yeah, we're just getting back from the hospital. He goes, everybody's all right. They think he's got a concussion. They're going to monitor him, but he's fine. They released him. So we all fly to St. Louis. When I get to St. Louis, now my phone's starting to ring. It's funny how shit happens. People find out. I get a hold of this guy, Amp Harris, in Indianapolis. And if you know Indianapolis, Amp Harris is the guy. He knows everybody. Anybody that's ever been through Indy, they deal with Amp. Amp was always the one setting up like Reggie Wayne, Edgerrin James functions. He's the guy. You know, he's instrumental in a lot of the stuff that Mike Epps does in Indy. Amp's really a behind-the-scenes dude. So I get a hold of Amp. This is his city. He breaks it down. He goes, Tiki Bob's. He goes, I'll never forget, Amp goes, they don't like Negroes. They like Negro money, though, on Thursday nights. And I looked back and I go, yeah, all the bouncers were white and looked a little rednecky. I didn't realize it. And then I was like, but Amp didn't say Negroes. He said the other word. He was like, they don't like that, but I like that money. I go, oh, he gets me in touch with the owner. The owner, I break down to him. I said, look, man, I ain't trying to go to social media with this. I just want you to do right by my guy. I don't know what we got to do. I said, but it was completely unnecessary. I know you got cameras. So this whole I hit a girl thing, I said, you got cameras, you can pull it. Long story longer, it ended up, the owner said he was going to take care of it. He got a hold of my opener and said he was going to handle everything, do a little settlement or some sort. And he just kind of dropped the ball and disappeared after he said he was going to do all that. So then we got an attorney that took on the case pro bono. He did take 35%, and they ended up winning a case at a court and got a little financial settlement. The attorney got paid, opener got paid, and that was it. And now Tiki Bob's is shut down. It's no longer there. And so now I can just talk about it openly and everything. And it was just, it's funny because when I was in Indy this weekend, every time I go there, I'm like, for the longest, I couldn't remember the name of the bar because it shut down. I was like, what was that name? I knew it had like a palm tree in the front or whatever. And every time I say Tiki Bob's, and when I go to Indy, they're like, oh, all the black people are like, oh. So I don't know what's there now, but if you watch the podcast and you're in Indy, leave a message like, do you have a story about Tiki Bob's? Because it was crazy because when it happened, when you're at like different functions and you tell the story, everybody had a story about Tiki Bob's. Everybody I've ever told, they're like, oh my God, Tiki Bob, yeah, this happened there, this happened there. I heard they was running like drugs through there and stuff. I heard so many stories from people. And Grant, I don't know if these are valid. I just know people told me these stories. So that was my Indy story. So with that, I stepped into a hip hop beef this week. As you know, Kendrick Lamar dropped is it called an album anymore? He just dropped his album, and one of the lyrics was, they're not going to let white comedians talk about black women. That's law. Is that the exact lyric? Can you pull the exact lyric?
Pull it up.
I don't want to misquote K. Why do they call him K. Dot? Why they call Kendrick K. Dot?
Because you got Kendrick, there's the K.
Yeah.
And then I think the dot is just a play off of the Drick. Like, just like a Kendrick, and it's just like a K dot.
K. Dot?
Yeah, just that's all it is.
Oh, okay. Kind of like they call me Gary O.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't even know. People's like K. Dot came at you on social media. What's the exact lyric? I want to make sure I get it right. I had enough people come at me this week. I don't need people going, you dropping, that's disrespectful. You're dropping the wrong line.
All right, here we go.
Well, I posted it. I could have went to my own IG page and found it. I got it too.
I gotta suffer through.
I need the internet to come through in this building. Dang, it's slow. This could be the whitest thing I've ever done in my life. I could not find a rap lyric. I bet you if it was Chris Stapleton, it would have popped up quick.
I found the article, and I'm like, dog, I just want the lyric.
I'm not getting any service right now.
Okay. The lyric is, don't let no white comedian talk about no black women. That's
law. Don't let no white comedian talk about black women. That's law. That was Kendrick's line. As soon as I saw it, and I must have made a post an hour after the song came out, when I saw it, I laughed because I go, well, if that's law, then I'm a criminal. And then I always wonder, like, why are rappers getting shot over hip hop? Why is there so much violence in hip hop? And now I kind of know why. Because was it visceral? The motherfuckers that came at me, I was like, oh, they act like Kendrick was their rich uncle that was going to take him out of the will if they didn't do something. Some of the messages, oh man, we got internet in here. I got so much shit pulled up. Is it?
Pull up your set. I might be able to send it to you.
I'm on the Wi-Fi now.
Okay.
Is it Creative 5G?
Yes, it's no Jackson. Yeah, Jackson Creative 5G.
I don't want to. Yeah, I'm on.
And then I'm gonna share it with you now.
Yeah, share with me because I got so many good angry messages like some of the stuff. It's so good. Let me see, but I don't know what's better, Twitter or Instagram. Let me see. I screenshot a couple of them.
Well, Twitter, I bet they're just nasty.
That Kendrick line about you, some defensive lineman at the University of Hawaii. You a hoe. Don't say K-Dot's name in vain because you ain't shit. If you want fame, get the fuck out of here, fake ass. This real rap music, fuck you talking about. Whoa. And every word's misspelled. You a hoe. Space, comma, space. Don't need two spaces. Don't say K-Dot's name in vain, cuz, C-U-Z. You ain't shit. Put two T's on the ship. You ain't shit it. If you want fame, now this guy goes to capital. If you want fame, get the fuck two Ks. So shit's got two T's, fuck's got two Ks. Get the fuck out of here, fake ass. Then put a period. Fake ass. This is real rap music. Fuck. F-U-K-K. Not C-K. K-K. Talk about three T's. Talk about like, and this guy got 0 posts, 480 followers, and his thing says LX. What is that? Is that an area? Mamba mentality. And I think he's Asian, actually. His name's Rudy. I think he's Asian or mixed with Asian and black. You a hoe. Hold on, let me find another one that's good. Hey, this podcast is brought to you by Blue Chew. Listen, as a guy who's a little older, I want that peace of mind, that confidence in the bedroom that I'm gonna handle stuff. I'm not worried about, not being able to rise up, so to speak. So Blue Chew gives me that confidence that when I take Blue Chew, I know I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be good. So listen, Blue Chew they want men rock hard. That's the mission, that's the goal. They will not stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house, till every tent is pitched, every rod is raised. So we want you to discover your options at BlueChew.com. And I'm telling you, this stuff works. I know. So we got a special deal, thanks to Blue Chew, just for our audience. Try Blue Chew free. All you got to do is pay $5 for shipping at checkout when you visit BlueChew.com. That's BlueChew.com, and you get your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring Get Some with Gary Owen. Rock. It was overwhelming. Oh, yeah, Twitter was way, hey, okay, why did that come up in that line? Let me go to hidden. Does anybody else, like, when you go to Instagram, when you go to your hidden Instagram messages, it's all porn? It's just a line of porn, and you gotta cipher through everything. Hold on, let me see if I can cipher through some of these. I mean, some are just so good. Some, like, they sound like they want to, like, kill me. It's so funny when people be like this too, like, I'm using this for clout. I'm like, no, I just thought it was funny. It's almost like, I guess, Kevin and Drewski and K Sinat did his live stream. And then people literally, I saw on the internet, like, Kev needed this. He was falling off. He needed, I was like, no. I think Kev's always a smart businessman, so he knew that's a younger audience that he could reach. And he probably just having a good time with Drewski and K Sinat. I'm saying his name right?
Yeah.
God, okay, 2 days. Let me see. There should be more. All these damn porn shit. It's hard to cipher.
There's also on YouTube, there's about 3 different videos that I've personally seen of people breaking down you, Andrew Schultz, and Kendrick Lamar. Like,
really?
Yes. There's a popular comedy YouTube channel called Joke World. They basically decipher podcasts comedians do and everything, and then they broke it down.
Who do they think it's about? Me or Andrew?
Well, they brought you up first. Ultimately, everybody knows it's Andrew, but
is it Andrew?
He doesn't say anything. He hasn't said. Name out, but
like, is it Andrew Schultz or is it me? Like, I understand, like, it could be Andrew, but then sometimes people are like, wait a minute, you went on the Club Shay Shay interview, and some people are like, maybe he's defending your ex. Because I don't really go in on black women. I feel like I uplift them. Mm-hmm. So I'm not the one saying that stuff.
So you can't be ruled out.
Yeah, I can't rule out. Is it been over a week? Oh, okay. You're still a clown, and Kendrick never even said a name, bozo. This is a girl. Okay, now I'm getting the thick of it. Okay, here's a good one. You aren't funny, just a bum-ass white N-word. These are women, by the way. This guy. Sit this one out. I'm sure your box is full already. He was like, you don't want this smoke. Imagine wanting this song to be about you and you weren't even on his mind. I'm like, I was taking this so not serious. Like, I didn't know if it was about me or not. I just know that I'm a white comic. I talk about black women. And so okay. Damn. You caught a stray for talking about your ex-wife, the mother of your children. This ain't just some regular black woman. What the fuck? Fuck him. We love you. Oh, this guy's on my team. I didn't see this one. Okay. Somebody defended me. Okay? Damn, you caught it straight for talking about your ex-wife, the mother of your children. This ain't just some regular black woman. What the fuck? Fuck him. We love you, Gary. And the next time you come to Baltimore, bring that one mailman. I've been telling people to get your ass to our city. I love the new special, by the way. Thank you, April Crawford. I'll say your name if you hype me up. I thought that was, yeah, this girl just sent there were so many like social media posts like, is it Andrew, is it Gary? It actually took on a little life of its own. Okay. Somebody said they reposted my post about Kendrick and said, I think I said something. What did I say? I said, somebody said, leave Gary Owen alone. And then somebody said, you're going to feel this when it hits your pockets. You're trash. Oh, my God. This one's great. This one's my favorite. You as a broke bitch from now on. Fuck you, Trump-ass bitch. And the best is the girl that sent it. This is her bio in her IG. She's a Delta, a mommy to 3, grown wonders. Yeshua is king, Mamba forever, San Diego. And then it's all like Bible scriptures. Why is the Mamba mentality? That's 2 Kobe mentalities, which kind of goes with LA a little bit because Kendrick's LA and this is LA shit. But okay, Miss Mother of 3 Bible verse. You as a broke bitch from now on and about 18 exclamation points. Fuck you, Trump ass bitch. Whoa. All right, let me go to Twitter. These are just so good. I wish we would have did this podcast like the day after it happened because it's been like a week and now I got so many messages. I gotta save them. I meant to screenshot some of them, but let me see. Gotta go back. Gotta go back a week. Now everything's talking about the Bengals. We'll close the podcast with that. Yeah, because I don't want to close it on a high note. I want to close my podcast on a depressing note. My squad. Let me see what else. It's just so funny. Like people really take and it. Gary Owens is trash. He treated his black ex-wife and the children horribly. I will never understand why black folks defend him. Oh, he not funny either. I love it when they say that at the end. Oh, you ain't funny either. Oh, my response is, I just checked my bank account. It says something different. That's the best comeback. I love it when people are having a complete argument about me with other people. So this guy has a huge back and forth with like 2 other people. He knew it wasn't about him. People want to be involved so bad. And the funny part is, I'm literally just making a funny post. I am not in hip hop. I don't want no hip hop beef. But if I see an opportunity where I can just be like, oh, that's kind of funny, I'm gonna post it. And this is what I always say: the people, if your whole thing about me is the Kendrick Lamar joke on social media, you were never gonna come see me anyways. You've probably never been to my show live. If that is your selling point, I'm like, you can't lose fans like that. You can only gain. Because the internet, what I know, is definitely not real life. Because there's people out there, especially when you're talking about Instagram, there's people out there that have like, I got more followers than Sebastian and Joe Coy. I don't sell as many tickets as Sebastian and Joe Coy. So that right there lets you know like social media isn't the end all. It's a catch-22 because that's just Instagram to me. Like the bigger thing is like YouTube's where you can get some freaking people to come out and see you, and Facebook from my perspective, what I've seen. So again, I was in Indianapolis this weekend and I'm on stage and this girl to the right one of my shows, I always try to be like, hey, you guys got any questions? I just like to talk to the audience for a few minutes because sometimes you get nuggets and you get bits out of it. And this white girl and her boyfriend sitting in the front row, and she almost looked like she would be from LA, blonde-headed, real like, kind of nice voice, like soft voice. She said she saw me on Bobby Lee's podcast about a year and a half ago. I went on Tiger Belly. And she goes, I love Bobby Lee. He's my favorite. Anything, if Bobby Lee goes anywhere, she was telling me all these cities she's went to see him in. She knew where he was at now. She knew everything about Bobby Lee. Didn't know who I was till I went in Bobby Lee's podcast. And she goes, and then when I saw the chemistry with you and Bobby Lee, she goes, I became a fan of yours because of Bobby Lee's podcast. And she was like, the fact that you started with Bobby Lee made her feel like, oh, this is one of Bobby's old friends. So it's like, that's why I was like, podcasting right now is where it's at. It ain't the late show with Jimmy Kimmel. It's not none of that. Those late night talk shows, they're cool. They're great to do. Even the daytime talk shows, the Jennifer Hudson show, Drew Barrymore, Kelly Clarkson. Those shows are great. But that's not where it's really at right now. I would much rather go on Club Shay Shay or The Breakfast Club than The Tonight Show at this stage in my career where I'm at, because I know I'm going to get a better run out of it. And that's where a lot of your hardcore fans will be. And you can definitely build a new fan base quicker. So that's how I try to get on. If it's a reputable podcast, I try to get on as much as I can. And that's another reason why I'm starting the other podcast with Nate Jackson, because I'm like, I see it. If you can get two comics that have different fan bases, can come together, but different but the same. So when you got two comics trying to do a podcast together, you got to be mindful. Like, I want to do a podcast where I think people that pay to see me may not have necessarily went and saw Nate, but if they see me and Nate together, like, yeah, I fuck with him, I might start going to see him, and vice versa. Nate's audience, if they see me, they may be like, oh yeah, Gary, all right, I fuck with him. I might go see him. Like, you can literally piggyback off each other and, you know, cherry pick some of his fans. He cherry picked some of mine, and it all helps. And it validated everything I was thinking this weekend in Indy when that girl was like, Bobby Lee. Literally, I go on Bobby Lee's podcast, and when I did it, went to LA, I flew out there just to do Tiger Belly, did it, and look what happened. Year and a half later, sold 2 tickets off of it. And who knows how many other tickets I've sold in the past. I'm doing other people's podcasts. But let's get back to this fun stuff. Let me see. I hate that they ever invited you to the cookout. The fact that you fetish black women and you make money off the black dollar, yet you never read the room, capital letters, truly makes my feet itch. You aren't black, and it's high time you really lean into the fact. And I was like, I think I messaged her. I made a post on Twitter. I said, I don't think your feet itching has anything to do with me. You might want to get that checked out. I generally like Gary, but this was corny. Like, sir, now when the internet get to digging and find some bullshit on you, you're going to say they're doing too much. Why couldn't you relax? Okay. Let me see. There's some other good ones. Yes, we really know. We Anchorite. Okay. Come on. Yeah, because on Twitter I said, did Kendrick just come for me? Okay, here's another one that's in my corner. This clown better not be talking about Gary Owen like that. Album is trash. Even I don't think his album is trash. I mean, there are gonna be some bangers coming out of it. I'm not a hip hop head where like a rapper releases an album and I go buy it immediately and then I listen to all the songs and be like, I judge him accordingly. I ain't gonna lie, whatever becomes popular, I end up probably listening to. I'm straight, probably catching shit a month later. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's enough. That's enough. Let me check. Let me search Gary Owens, because those are the good ones, because black people always put an S on my name. God, here's a problem with my name on Twitter. Like I always said, you get bored, you're in your hotel, and you might search your name on the internet. Every Gary Owens is definitely like a Trump supporting, Republican, borderline racist. There's like 4 of them out there. So when my name comes up, I got to cipher through all these political, and they're all political. There's like 4 Gary Owens out there that if I type in my name, I'm like, where do you guys come from? And could you please get off the internet? Because I can't find what I'm looking for now because it's all you guys keep posting about. I co-sign on once Mike ever tried to. What is it? You have never once watched, listened to a single episode of the pod if you think Mike is the white dude who says whatever. Mike who? He is completely on the other end of the Andrew Schultz-ass spectrum. You tried. What's he talking about? Mike who? Mike. Oh. I might be talking about the Bengals, Mike Brown. Okay, sorry. I cause I once ever tried to was his whiteness ever tried to I'm the white that's cool with blacks, roll like Gary Owens type. Oh, this is two. I'm an idiot. This is 2 guys talking about their friend. Some dude named Mike, and then the dude put in my name. I don't know. Okay. My bad. All right. But yeah, it's just, this has been last week. It'd have been a lot easier to find this stuff. I screenshot some of it, but I'm just going to get it. You get the picture. I just didn't realize how these I think most people are under 30, take like hip hop that serious. Like if a comedian has a moment to say something funny, they're gonna say it and go for it. And then God, it's just there was a lot of violent ones. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna run up on you when I see you, or this end of your career. Listen, it's damn near impossible to end somebody's career. The only thing you can do is like gain fans at this point. Because like I said, the people that are angry, we're never going to come to see you anyways. Ever. And if all they know you is they seen you in interviews on Shay Shay or The Breakfast Club, or you said something about Kendrick Lamar like me, you're not a longtime fan anyways. But then you got the people on the other side that you might gain new fans off the notoriety. The key in this business, man, just keep your name out there. Hopefully without a scandal like my divorce, but I mean more like keep your name out there with current events and everything else. So, and I wonder, Drake's really suing him? Or is he suing a label?
Yeah, he's suing the production label, not Kendrick himself. He's saying something about like the streams and how they put it in front of people. If you search like Drake on Spotify, it would pull up the They Not Like Us song. So he's got that, and then and also he's also coming after the label for Drake saying, you guys let an artist put out a song that basically calls me a pedophile, and I'm not. So he's like, what's that word? Defamation?
Defamation of character?
Yeah, he's going off with him like that, with that.
That's a little sensitive. You know what I mean? Drake's got a... You're in hip-hop, man. Anything goes. In hip hop, he's got to come back harder, And I mean, I watched Joe Budden's podcast. Joe Budden went off on Drake, like he went all the way in. Like that was more than this beef. Like Budden's been waiting on the opportunity to go in on Drake when he said he's a piece of shit. He's just he's always going by people's back, banging their girls. Like, that's the one lyric that I listen to more than anything. Like, Lil Wayne's in jail, and you banged one of his girls. I was like this. Yep. That's a lot. That's a lot to unpack right there. I would never trust Drake in a room with my girl. Ever. At least Usher's kind of open with it. Usher's like literally like, where's your girl? Let me give her a cherry. All right. I wouldn't let my girl go to a Usher. Last week, Usher was in Houston. My girl's like, Usher's here. I said, I don't give a fuck. Call me insecure. We're not going. Sorry. We'll go see we'll go see Khalid. Who's the guy that just came out as gay? Khaled. Whatever, not DJ Khaled, but whatever guy just came out as gay. We'll sit front row in this concert. Yeah, we're not doing that. And if we are, we're sitting way up in the balcony. Whatever. I'm a pretty secure dude, but I'm also a realist. All right. So it's whatever. It's almost like I had a buddy come to LA when I first got to LA. And I literally told him, I said, I just moved in. My ex-wife and me, we just started dating and we just moved in together. And he wanted to come out for a couple weeks to try to, at that point, you just try to go up at all the comedy spots, trying to make connects, and you're just trying to get your name out there. We were in our early 20s and stuff. My buddy came out. I literally told him, I go, dude, we got one rule at the house. You can stay at the house as long as you want. We had an extra bedroom. I was like, no hoes at the house. Go somewhere else with the hoes. And he was like, all right. He's a single guy, good-looking guy. So I was on the road with him for a while, so he never had a problem picking up women. And he was, I'm not going to say he was a dog. He was just a comic on the road that was getting attention for the first time. So, girls are coming at you. And he, because the reason we had no girls at the house, one, it's your house. You don't know these people. And two, my ex had a son that was like 8 or 9 years old at that time. So this ain't a party house. Fucking first night, he brings a girl back. I was like, day one, bro. Day one. If you're going to bring a girl back, if you're going to stay with me for like 2-3 weeks, day 20, you bring a girl back. I was like, we woke up the next morning and there was a girl sitting on the couch. She's like, good morning. I was like, what the fuck? What? So my ex was like, he got to go. He can't stay here. So I pulled him aside. I said, hey, man, my girl said you can't stay here. He was like, what? I go, I told you the only rule. No, go back to her place or get a hotel. Don't bring her back here. And he was like, oh, no. It was just, he tried to come up with some excuses to do, I'm not hearing you right now, but you got to go. So he left, called another friend of his, another comedian. Now he's staying at his house. About a year later, I'm talking to this other comedian, and I was telling the story. We're kind of laughing about it. I go, dude, old boy came over. I go, first night, I had a girl. He goes, man. He goes, he called me and was like, can I stay at your house? And I told him, yeah, you can stay till Friday. Then I'm headed out of town. I got a gig. And this was like, let's say a Monday. So I got to Friday. He looked at him and said, yeah, man, I'm leaving. Where are you going? He goes, oh, I can't just stay. He goes, no. He goes, you can't. He goes, man. He tried to tell me, he goes, look, my wife's here. He goes, I'm happily married. I'm secure. He goes, but there will never be another grown man in my house when I'm not here with my wife. And it got nothing to do with being insecure. It's just, you got to be real with this shit. And he was like, I told him, I said, you got to go, bro. I said, I don't know where he went. He goes, but he wasn't going to stay at my house with my wife, and they're the only two in the house? Nah, that ain't happening. I was like this. I get it. So, yeah. Not about being insecure. It's just about being smart. So Usher, yeah, you're a talented artist. And if I ever go to see you, my girl will not be in the front. Same with, I saw Nate in my other podcast, Nate Jackson, brought his assistant to the Usher concert. And guess who got fed a cherry? Nate's assistant. Boom. It ain't going to happen. You got me fucked up right now. Drake, I will never, ever have you have a one-on-one conversation with my girl. Ever. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm going to be right there. How's it going, man? What's up? Hey, dude, you were awesome in Degrassi. I'm going to go extra white and extra goofy. And I'm not going to stop talking till you just leave. Like, yeah, man, that first album, how do you feel about the Kendrick stuff, man? Did you really sue him? How was Canada? Do you like Toronto? Who's your favorite Raptor? Vince Carter? Did you like it when Butch Carter was the coach? There's a lot of Carters in Toronto. Do you like the old uniforms or the new uniforms? So that was crazy when Kawhi won a title for you guys. Yeah, that was nuts, man. Hey, what's Australia like? Touring over there. They know all your songs. They know lyrics in Japan. Yeah, I wouldn't stop. So he's like, you know what? This ain't worth it. So yeah, that's another level of shit right there when your boy's in jail and you're knocking off his girl. That's a whole other level of, I don't even know. That's just wild to me. That's the one time, like, you got to trust your boys. Probably if you're looking out, like, hey, man, take care of my girl. I'm gone. Make sure she's straight. Da-da-da. I'm like, then you got to knock her off. Ugh. Says a lot about the girl, too, though. So, but you got to be real with this shit. People get lonely. You have somebody in common. You're talking. And then, just like that movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze, his boy had him killed and then kind of was coming at his girl. And it was all planned out. You get a girl that's like vulnerable. Emotions are all over the place. Her dude's in jail. And she's just not in a good place. And you take advantage of that. Yeah. Well, I don't know. What to say about it. That's how people get killed in the mafia, to be honest with you. The Italians, they don't play that shit. So, all right, y'all. Well, look, this weekend I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. Hopefully, the hip hop heads under 30 won't come try to get me. I was just a joke. I was kidding about Kendrick. But you weren't going to come see me anyways, let's be honest. Yeah. Tickets are flying there. Tickets are going to San Antonio. And make sure me and Nate's going to take a month off with the Nate and Gary podcast because Nate had a big, huge month. He got his comedy special on Netflix. He's filming in January, and he got casted in The Office. So we will be back in January with the Gary and Nate podcast. I'm here every week with the Get Some podcast. And yeah, we'll see you guys. I'm Gary Owen, Get Some podcast.